All right, we're gonna take it to the Marvel universe and make us a Wakanda cake, and it's completely vegan. So we're gonna take our sugar and add it to our flour, and then we're gonna take some cocoa powder, dark cocoa powder, add it to it. Then we're gonna take some cinnamon, some cayenne, some salt, some baking powder, some baking soda, and add that to that. And then also some vegan chocolate chips, and give that a good stir just to make sure all of those dry ingredients are well incorporated to each other. Now let's make our wet batter, which we're gonna add to our food blender. We're gonna go ahead on and add some oil. I chose to go with grapeseed oil. Feel free to use any vegetable oil you have at home. Then we're gonna add some red dye, a little bit of white vinegar. The white vinegar is gonna help bring out the brightness of that red, so it's a bright cake and not a dark red. And then also some cashew milk. Feel free to use whatever non-dairy milk you have on hand that you have in your fridge. And then we're gonna take a mashed avocado and add that to this mixture. That's going to take the place of our eggs. You don't have to use no flax seeds or no chia seeds or nothing like that. And some pure vanilla extract. I be telling y'all, don't skimp on that vanilla. Get the good stuff. Give it a blitz for about 30 seconds, and then after it's finished whirling around, add that wet batter to your dry batter, and don't leave no batter behind. Get it all out of there. Then stir it up. Give it a good blend and make sure you got a nice, smooth, thick batter. Like I said, anytime you have a thick batter for a cake, that equals a light and fluffy, moist cake, all right? Go ahead on and grease your baking pan. You can use oil like I did, or use some cooking spray. Then go ahead on and pour your batter right into it. Don't that look good, y'all? Don't that look good? Give it a shake and give it a drop. A little shake and a drop. That helps release the air bubbles so the batter levels out and everything rises evenly. Pop that into a 375-degree oven for 30 minutes. Now, while that's in the oven, let's make our vibranium icing. We're gonna take our powdered sugar, give a pinch of salt. Then to our cashew milk, we're gonna add some vanilla extract, and then we're gonna use some plant-based dye. So we're gonna do 6 drops of red dye and 6 drops of blue dye so we can get purple. I feel like I'm in kindergarten all over again. All right, and if you want to use this plant-based red dye in place of the regular dye that we use in the cake, feel free to do that, but you're probably gonna have to buy it too, because those little bottles just don't produce that much red dye. All right, then we're gonna take some non-dairy cream cheese and add it to the mixture, and then we're gonna put a 1/4 cup of our vibranium liquid into it, just so it doesn't splatter all over. Give it a little mix on low, and then add some more of your liquid into it until you get this beautiful batter going. Icing. Make sure you scrape down the sides of your bowl so all that powdered sugar get in there, and look at that. Look at how beautiful of an icing you get right there, all right? If you want a thicker icing, use less milk. After 30 minutes, ta-da! Look at how beautiful that cake is, all right? So while the cake was on its final numbers, I threw the icing in the refrigerator just so it wasn't sitting out at room temperature, all right? So go ahead on and pour that icing in that cake, and let's get ready to spread this icing all over the cake, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So you just go ahead on and spread this all over the cake nice and evenly. If you notice that you're missing a couple of pieces of icing somewhere, just pour a little bit more icing on it, all right? Make sure all the crevices and cracks of this cake is evenly distributed with this beautiful icing. Take that cake, pop it in the fridge for 40 minutes or overnight. I chose to go with 40 minutes because I was ready to eat. While that cake's in the fridge, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some quarter strawberries. You're gonna sprinkle a little bit of sugar over it, and then you're gonna give it a little pinch of salt. Always add a little bit of salt to all of your sweetness to bring out the sweetness, all right? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some sprigs of mint, and you're gonna pop off the leaves, all right? Please do not put any sprigs of mint in there, only the leaves. Give it a nice little chop, and then add it to your salad. Now we got this strawberry and mint salad, and we're gonna also squeeze the juice of 1 lemon in there, all right? And fish out any seeds you may have dropped. Don't do like me and push the seeds all the way down to the bottom of the bowl, but nevertheless, make sure any seeds that fall in there gets taken out, and then give it the mixture a good old stir, all right? Now that the strawberry mint salad is ready, let's plate up because it's time to eat. Go ahead on and grab my cake out of the refrigerator. Get this goodness out of here. The icing should have solidified just a little bit, but still has a nice slightly runniness to it. Grab you something to get the cake out. Ironically, I grabbed a pie, a pie slicer to get the cake out. And then just cut up your pieces. Cut it however you want to. I cut my cake just like my dad taught me, 9 pieces across. Give you a beautiful piece. I am a corner man, but I'm gonna serve this up with the center slice, because you can have all the centers, just leave my corners alone. Anybody out there team corners? Leave a comment that say team corners. And look at that. Beautiful, moist, delicious cake right there, all right? And then from there, all you gotta do is just let the cake go. Put your little sprig of mint on top of your strawberry salad, and that's how easy it is to make this vegan Wakanda cake. Wakanda forever! Leave a comment, drop a like, hit the share button, and I'll see you on the next recipe, baby.